Hey everyone, so in this particular video we'll start with the validation. Okay, so we need to go over here and just hit one tab. Okay, so we'll start with the validation. Okay, validation. Now in validation you pretty much have to do the same thing, however we will change certain variables and other things. Okay, so I'm going to copy the entire thing from here. The entire train function you should just copy. Okay, so I'm going to copy the entire thing over here and I'll paste, and I'll not just keep it there, I'll remove certain things. Okay, so what are the things that we need to remove from here? So obviously when it comes to the validation part, what you need to do is you need to ensure that you have certain variables over here, because in each epoch both training and validation will happen. So what you're going to do, instead of train you have to write over here val, right? Instead of train, again val, and the logic is completely the same. Okay, it is exact, everything is same. Instead of train loader we'll have val loader. Okay, instead of total train samples, again we'll have val, and images shape is 0, that's correct. Here what we are going to have is, we are going to remove this. Okay, we are going to completely remove it from here, and what we are going to do is, since here no training is going to take place, I am going to write fin model dot eval. Okay, after that, one more thing that I need to do over here is, I need to say torch dot with torch dot no grad, because again no backpropagation needed, and so all of this will go one step to the right. So is that the end? No. So we need to go over here, copy this entire thing, or not copy, and then hit control and right square bracket. Okay, it will go on the right side. Control plus right square bracket. Okay, just below the plus equal to sign on the keyboard. Okay, once that is done, we'll keep all of this. We'll also keep this over here. We'll also find the loss. Till here everything remains the same. Instead of train, again you know the drill, we'll remove it here and we'll write val. We don't need this. Why? Because no training will happen, because we have already set torch.nograd, which is basically going to say that there is no training that's going to happen. Okay, we don't need this because this is already there, so we can remove these two things from here. So what you can do is, you can remove these two things from here, because these are already set above over here. If you can see, these are already set over here, so we removed it. Okay, so obviously these two need to come. So again control and left square bracket one time. Okay, so that is there, and instead of total train correct, we need to write total val correct, and we will not do anything after that in this particular block. Okay, why? So idea is the same. Total val samples will find you the number of samples that were there in this particular for loop. Okay, again we have sent the images and labels to the device, and output equal to fin model images. We need to find the output obviously of the images, of the validation images, and then we also need the loss. We also need to calculate the per epoch loss in the validation phase, and that's why loss dot item over here. Same logic over here for the indices, and in the total val correct, we'll just see how many validation stuff is correct. Okay, after that is done, we need to have certain printing. We need to print certain things. Okay, what we need is, we need to find the average train loss. So whatever you can say, train loss. What is the average train loss? It is the training, it is the loss of the epoch. So whatever loss was collected here in this train, total train epoch or train epoch loss, whatever this is. So train epoch loss is written over here, divided by total number of samples. Correct? So total train samples. Okay, what is the val loss? Same logic, it is going to be total validation val epoch loss over here. So validation epoch loss, I'm going to write it over here, divide by the total val samples. Total val samples, right? After that we need the accuracy. So accuracy, okay, small a. To train accuracy, what can we say? We can say total train correct. Accuracy is what? Number of correct samples or correct predictions divided by total number of predictions. So that is total train samples, right? And same story for the validation accuracy. So we will have val accuracy, that is going to be total val correct total val correct divided by total val samples, right? After that we need to also append, so all train losses, whatever the loss we had got, we are going to append it into the list that we had already declared on the top. So you can see over the lists that we had declared on the top, we are going to append all the losses and so train losses and validation losses. So I'm going to say now all train losses, I'm going to say train loss, whatever we found over here is being appended here. Okay, just copy this thing and then paste it over here even for val losses. Okay, so just remove this all val losses. Okay, and just hit this one also. Okay, so let's try and so obviously if you want to run this particular thing, what you need to do initially is, first of all, just this is a sanity check. Okay, this is to see whether their things are working fine or not. So I'm going to hit over here, so I'm going to say number of epochs equal to 1 time, so don't have to run a lot, and I just want to break over here just to see whether this particular function is working correctly or not. So it's running. Okay, so so this will not take a lot of time. Why? Because we have already initialized num epochs equal to 0, and since we are running on a CPU, you can see the CPU demand is high. Since this is running on the CPU, it might take a lot of time, but don't worry, I'll not bore you. We have already written the break over here, so this breaking function is there, and what we could have initially also done is, okay, so here what we also need to do is we have to write over here also break, otherwise it will just keep on running. So there are two breaks over here, and hit shift and enter. Okay, so this particular cell will be continuing, it will be running, and it will be running for 1 epoch, because we have already, as I said, as you know, we have declared over here num epochs equal to 1, and here I think yes, so the epoch has run over here, you can see, and there are no errors. Okay, so what you need to do over here is basically you need to now run it on the GPU. So you are going to say num epochs equal to 5 and remove all the breaks from here, the 2 breaks that you need to remove from here, and you also need to remove this over here. So now we are ready for all the training. For me, once I had done this before, it took me more than half an hour, but again it depends on the GPU. So what you need to do over here is you need to come over here, and under the accelerator over here you need to go GPU P100 and then say turn on, and once that will be turned on, you basically only have to hit run all. So I'll run this particular thing, and then I'll get back to you in the next video. Okay, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and bye.